Hey, what's going on, my friends? Misha Wilson here, coming at you on the first Monday of the new year. Happy New Year. I was going to say as always, but that doesn't make sense. It only happens once a year, right? Actually, coming at you from the deck here. Quick little panoramic view. It's another beautiful day on Maui, Hawaii. But anyway, I wanted to go ahead and shoot this quick video for you and discuss the topic of work-life balance because I was actually just speaking with a student a couple of days ago, and he's kind of in that process of going really hard in his business for the first time. And he was kind of in the state of not really, it was just the first time he had put so much work into his business, and he was finally starting to pick up momentum, but he didn't know whether he was going to have to keep going and kind of sustain that level of work moving forward. So I wanted to talk about work-life balance and just kind of my views on it and what I personally believe about it. And the truth is that I don't really believe there's such thing as work-life balance. So I first heard the quote, I think about 6 months ago, watching actually a Gary Vaynerchuk show, and he had Jack Welch on, the old CEO of General Electric. And what Jack said is he said there's no such thing as work-life balance. There's only choices that you can make, and there's consequences either way. So if you choose to work all the time, your career will obviously flourish, but you'll have consequences in your personal life. And vice versa. If you choose to just hang out with your family all the time, you'll obviously have a very abundant and prosperous family and personal life, but you might have the consequence and ramifications in your career and your business, right? So that's my personal views on work-life balance and just kind of how I view how many hours I'm going to put into my business on a daily basis, and certain times of the year if I want to go harder than not, etc., and so forth. But I think there's also another kind of less extreme view that you can take, because I think a lot of people don't necessarily just want to think in the terms of consequences and every decision you make is going to have a consequence, even if it does, right? Lots of people don't necessarily want to take that view and kind of that level of extremity into their life. Extremity, I don't even know if that's a word. But the view I would say to go with if you're in that boat is kind of the essentialism view. And I don't know if you've read the book Essentialism. I was actually just reviewing it last night. But it more or less talks about there being four quadrants of your life that you have to go ahead and attend to if you want to live a happy and prosperous life. And that's health, family and friends, or health, family, friends, and business, right? So those four. And it talks about the fact that if you want to be good at something, if you want to have, pretty above average results, you can go ahead and focus on three out of the four. And if you want to have really excellent results and kind of be at the top of your game in any of the various quadrants, you can only focus on two of the four at one time, right? So you can't focus on family, friends, business, and health all at the same time. If you want to be really good at something, you have to narrow it down, choose the two things that you want to focus on most, and then just focus on those two things. So that's what I tend to do throughout the year. I usually, at least for the last year and a half now, I've always focused on business to a pretty extreme degree, right? And that's why I've been able to pick up so much momentum in my own personal business. But there's been various times of the year when I haven't necessarily focused on my health and my fitness as much as I focused on my friends and my family during those various times of the year. And then at different times of the year, I've kind of, to be honest, just kind of tuned out my friends and family and focused all of my efforts on both business and health. So that's what I would say in regards to just kind of the work-life balance and trying to figure that whole scenario out. If you're just kind of new to the game, you're just dipping your toes in the water, I highly recommend jumping in head first and taking action and getting your feet wet and really kind of experiencing what it takes to get to the next level and just kind of run an actual business. And once you're in those shoes and you're running a successful business, you absolutely will understand what I'm talking about right now and trying to find that very kind of thin line between a work-life balance. But that's what I'd say. I mean, my own personal belief is that there's really no such thing as a work-life balance. There's just choices that you can make, and there's consequences based on whatever choice you make. The consequences don't need to be huge, they can be very minute, but there's going to be some ramification moving one way or the other based on the choices you make today moving forward. But if you want to focus on more of kind of a less extreme point of view, I would highly recommend taking the essentialism route and focusing on the fact that you can focus on health, wealth, family, and friends. Those are the four aspects of life that you want to focus on. If you want to do really well in your life in any of those various areas, you have to be willing to focus on two out of the four and completely and totally tune out the other two. So guys, having said that, I hope you got a ton of value out of this video. The student, he's probably watching this right now. I hope you got a ton of value out of this video. I know you've kind of been struggling with trying to figure out if you're going to be moving forward. And the last thing I'll say is the real trick, if you want to build and then sustain, is to put all of your energy and work really hard on building systems that work whether you're there or whether you're not there, all right? So if you're going to work 12 hours a day for, let's say, a given 6-month period of time, focus on working 12 hours a day, building systems that will continue to run and make you money and build your business in an automated fashion, whether you're there or not there. Because then when you go ahead and step away and you focus on your family, you focus on your friends, you focus on your health, etc., your business is still running, it's cranking out profits, it's cranking out revenues based on the work that you did 6 months prior. So that's what I'll say in just kind of final closing. I hope you got a ton of value out of this video, just a real kind of off the fly, off the cuff video for you here today. This Monday, I'm personally just getting back in the swing of things. I took a week off here for the first time in about the last year and a half actually. This last week, just kind of cruising into the new year. So getting back into the swing of things with myself. Figured this video was perfectly congruent with the time of year and then also what my student was dealing with. I hope you got a ton of value. If you did, comment, share, leave me your feedback. And if you're struggling to generate traffic and leads for your business, go ahead, download a copy of my free report, The 5 Pillars of Profitable Business Building Traffic, where I show you exactly how I generate 75 to 100 leads every single day for my own business and exactly how you can too. Having said that, I'll give you one more quick panoramic view. There it is. Having said that, peace out from Maui.